Welcome back to Winning Law. I'm attorney David Nguyen with offices in Houston, Texas. And today we're going to go over 3 more additional tips and tricks that USCIS officers use when conducting a marriage or adjustment of status interview. The 4th tool that USCIS immigration officers can use when determining whether or not a marriage is entered in good faith is having access to dating websites. So if you met your significant other through dating websites such as Match.com, Christian Mingle, Plenty of Fish, or any of the like, you want to go in and delete your profile. Let me give you a good example. We had a couple that came to me because they filed the application themselves and the government came to them and, they sent them a letter or a notice of intent to deny stating that they believed the marriage was fraudulent because the man still had his dating profile. So they came to our office, they were worried because they explained that they haven't used the account, they just kept it inactive. So they hired us to explain to immigration that the account required a monthly subscription service, and they stopped paying that monthly subscription service ever since they met. However, this could have been avoided if the couple just right before they mailed off their application, they went in and they deleted all of their dating websites. So remember, making your account inactive, not using it is not enough. You have to go on each individual dating website and make sure that you delete it. So the next tip and trick that USCIS officers use is related to income and not sufficient income. So if you are making, or if your family is not making sufficient income, and I'll explain what sufficient means in a little bit, you're going to have issues at the marriage interview. So what immigration officers love to do is they will ask for joint bank account statements. And what they're doing when they're looking at this is looking at a couple of things. They're looking to see whether or not you're making deposits from your jobs into that account. So if 2 people are working and only one person deposits their income into the bank account, you're going to have issues. They also look whether or not you're making your certain payments using that joint account. So if you're paying your rent by yourself, not using a joint account, if you're using your separate accounts to pay off your utility bills and insurance premiums, these are things that immigration will look at and state that these do not evidence a bona fide marriage. Another thing that immigration will do in regards to money is that they will discriminate based on low income and not sufficient income. So if you receive your monthly bank statements and they're always in the negative, or they always have a low balance, maybe under $3,000 at any given time, the government is not going to like this. So I always encourage my clients, if you have to, encourage both of you to work second jobs, work third jobs, do whatever you can to ensure that your bank statement balance is always over $3,000 or $5,000, or else when you go into the immigration interview, they're going to discriminate against you based on your income. And again, they're not supposed to, but I'm telling you that they do. The final tip for today involves the use of field agents by USCIS officers. And so what field agents are they are people that work for USCIS to determine whether or not a marriage is real, but they don't work in the office. They actually go out into the field, or they come out to visit you at your residence, or they go out to your employer. So the reason why field agents are so important is because there are so many instances of people coming to my office because they tell me that they were visited by immigration at their work site or at their residence and they didn't know what it was for. Well, the reason why usually agents visit your home or residence is because you did not submit sufficient evidence with your application, or you submitted information that they determined was vague or inconclusive. So they go out there to make sure that you're actually living together. Now, the big problem with these field agents is that their reports are very biased, and they are usually enough to deny a person their eligibility for a green card based on marriage. Let me give you an example. We have a lot of cases where field agents go to a person's residence. They speak with the person's neighbors, they speak with the person's landlord, they speak with the person's maintenance person, and if any of these people indicate that they know one person but not the other, you're going to have issues with your marriage or adjustment of status interview. And you might be at home thinking, you know what, I never speak with my neighbors. I have never seen the leasing agent. My spouse always deposits our check. It's automatic. Or you may say that we haven't had an issue at our home, we've never seen the maintenance man before. Well, this is going to be a big issue because immigration, when they send out their field agents, if they ask any of these individuals, hey, do you recognize this couple? And if they say no, they're going to put it on their report, and this is going to be held against you. And so we have so many people that come to us, complaining that, look, I'm a busy person. I go to work, I go to school, I don't know my neighbors. We just say hi, we pass by. But the problem is that immigration will use this to your detriment. So make sure that if you're filing an adjustment of status green card application based on marriage, you go to each of your neighbors and you introduce yourself as a couple. You speak with them, you try to have a relationship with them. Also, I recommend that you go to the leasing office every month to make sure that they know who you are, which apartment you stay at, where you stay at. This way, if immigration comes along, they'll know who you are. Additionally, if you have a maintenance issue, make sure that both of you are there to handle the maintenance issue, because there are many of these notices of intent to deny issued to individuals who maybe one party is at home normally to get the issue resolved with the maintenance person, and yet when immigration writes this report, they ask the maintenance person, hey, have you seen this couple together? And the maintenance person will say, no, I have never seen them together. I recognize one person, but the other person was not there. This is so common because just be frank, if you're in a relationship, if there's an issue at the house, only one person needs to be there, and then that issue gets resolved, and then the other person is either working or running errands. However, immigration is so narrow-minded that they're going to use this against you and put it in the field officer's report. So make sure that if you're living together, make sure you know your neighbors, make sure that you know your landlords, and make sure that you know the maintenance persons that are maintaining your residence. So again, these are 3 additional tips that USCIS officers use when determining whether or not a marriage is entered in good faith. So stay tuned, because next week I'm going to upload 3 more additional tips and tricks that USCIS officers can use. Again, thank you for watching Winning Law. I'm attorney David Nguyen, and we hope that we have made immigration easier to understand.
At David Nguyen's Law Office, we are here to help you. We bring families together through immigration. And on the other hand, we help you find solutions. All your legal needs in the hands of people who care, who are there for you. We'll take care of your loved ones at the law office of David Nguyen.